Shalom. I want to give all praise to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Ha, Racha, Kodash, Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. Double honors to my elder, Harawan Banya Sharala of the Lions Den Camp here in Jacksonville, Florida. Salutations to the sincere Aki in pushing his truth and sincerity around the four corners of this earth. I'm Nakar Kharab Banya Sharala coming out of the Lions Den Camp here in Jacksonville, Florida. Now today I'll be coming out with a lesson. The brother Thanyala of this camp, he put a link in our group chat or whatever, and it's talking about this here pastor that got robbed. This is supposed bishop that got robbed, and we already know when it come down to Jake, they only in it for the money. Well, if he was a true man of the Lord, a true man of the Lord, don't you think the Lord would have protected him? Because the Lord is protecting his true men, his true pastors, his true teachers, his true prophets, his true apostles, his true ministers. The Lord is protecting them. The Lord will not suffer and or allow something like that to happen to his men. That's how you know that this guy was a false prophet and he's fake. He's not a man of the Lord. And he got robbed. And you already know who robbed him. It was of Israel, because he's of Israel. You know what I'm saying? Basically, he got robbed by his own people. He up there in New York, or wherever he at, in Brooklyn or whatever, and he collecting all this money from people, and things are probably not changing where he at. So Jake was like, we gotta have that, my guy. We need that. Come up off of it. But nonetheless, you already know he was just in it for the money, and he was getting ready to tell a false dream and a lie before the Lord robbed him up out of his robbed them thoughts right out of his mouth before he could even start lying, prophet lying. But without further ado, I'm gonna play the video because this is actually kind of hilarious to me. But without further ado, I'm gonna play this excerpt.
A Brooklyn bishop was robbed at gunpoint in the middle of his Sunday sermon today, and it was all caught on camera. The service was being live streamed this morning when he says 3 to 4 men walked in with guns. He spoke at length with CBS 2's Lisa Rosner about why he believes he was targeted and his message for the suspects. 5 to 10 minutes into preaching Sunday morning on Remsen Avenue in Canarsie, Bishop Lamore Whitehead saw the door in the back of the room kick open.
How many of you have lost your faith because you saw somebody else die what you about to go through? Yo. All right. I seen 3.
Salakia. Hey, he was straight up getting ready to lie for real. He was getting ready to come up or pull something out of his behind. The Lord said, "No, buddy, you finna keep them words. You ain't finna say nothing." And this is what happened.
4 men come in. I said, all right. It's pretty much stating that I'm not going to do anything.
Bro, he don't even look like he looked like he just about money. But let's continue.
Right, because I know y'all coming from me. Y'all coming straight to me. I don't want my parishioners hurt, right? I got women and children there. As I got down, one went to my wife and took all her jewelry and had the gun in front of my 8-month-old baby's face. Took off my bishop's ring, my wedding band, and took off my bishop's chain, and then I had chains underneath my robe. He started tapping my neck to see if anything else. So that means they.
He said he took off his chain. He said he had more chains under his robe. The brother Arakar made a statement in our group chat of this camp. They made off about $1 million worth of jewelry. Let's continue.
They watched and they knew that I have other jewelry.
The church's live stream shows the gun being held on the pastor.
They had the guns on my deacons that was at the door.
Whitehead says what you don't see on camera are around 100 congregants who were in the room. Men, women, and children dropped to the floor in silence.
My church is traumatized. The women and children are still crying. Still crying. Babies are still crying.
Police say the men took off in a white Mercedes. Whitehead.
All right, that's the end of that right there. Here we go. This is 2 Peter chapter 2, I'm going to start at verse 1. But there were false prophets among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privately bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that bought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction. So there you go. He was a false teacher. He's a false prophet among the people of Israel. He is one of those prophet liars. He is one of the false teachers, and he was about to get ready to bring in a damnable heresy. He was about to get ready to make up a lie. Because he was not coming out of the spirit of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. He was coming out of his own heart. And in that, guess what? They deny the Lord that bought them, and they bring upon themselves swift destruction. That could have been judgment right there. The Lord was actually being light on them. He had him to get robbed. Them boys could have came in and just laid him flat right there. So these false prophets up in these harlot houses, i.e. these churches, they not the real men of the Lord. And the Lord is showing you this. And it's going to be much more of this. The Lord is going to start taking these false prophets down. He's going to start letting it be known who his true men are. Well, the Lord has made it known, but the Lord is finna really show the world who the true men are, who his true pastors and teachers are that he has set up. That dude that got robbed at gunpoint at a supposed church and doing a sermon, he was getting ready to prophet lie. He was lying. And they bring upon themselves swift destruction. Let's continue. Let's just keep on going. This is verse 2. Many shall follow their own pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. And that's what's going on right now. You see a lot of people coming against the truth of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, coming against the scriptures, while simultaneously saying that they believe in the scriptures. So people are going to follow their own pernicious ways, their own wicked ways, their own wicked way of thinking, their own heart. Whom what? The way of truth will be evil spoken of. Verse 3. And through covetousness shall they with feigned words make merchandise of you, whose judgment now of a long time lingereth not, and their damnation slumbereth not. So through covetousness, through wanting what somebody else has, and Pastor Pork Chop, Bishop Shrimp Plate only wants your money. He's covetous of your money, so he wants your money. He want what Esau got. He want all the money. He want to be rolling in the dough. So for that very reason, with feigned words, with false words, they make merchandise of the people. How you think he got all those chains? How you think he got all that jewelry and all that stuff? He make merchandise of the people. He robbing the people and taking money from the people and getting rich, wearing all this jewelry and stuff. So the Lord said, okay, well, since you want to rob the people, I'm going to have the people come rob you. And that's what happened. This bishop got straight up robbed. The Lord took him straight down. The Lord could have killed him, but the Lord just had him get robbed. But he was finna get ready to start speaking with those feigned, those false, those fake words, and make merchandise of the people like he usually do. But the Lord said, no, be quiet. He didn't even get a chance to finish that lie he was finna get ready to tell. And in that, they bring judgment now that of a long time, it don't linger. See, these false prophets in these churches, the Lord is not holding back judgment no more. He finna let them start getting jacked up. It was already a while back, a supposed pastor, somebody gunned one pastor up in the street somewhere. I forget where it was at. But he was a supposed man of the Lord. The Lord turned him into human Swiss cheese. Put holes in him. So these false prophets, man, y'all not benefiting the people, man, as Jeremiah 23 says. Y'all don't profit the people. But the damnation or the judgment, it lingereth not. And their damnation, their judgment does not slumber. It's going to come. It's going to happen. The Lord is going to deal with these false prophets, these prophet liars. But let's continue. Let's go back a chapter. Let's go to a book, I should say. Not a chapter, but a book. This is 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 2. It says, feed the flock of Yahawah which is among you, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind. So you're supposed to feed the flock of Yahawashi, which is among you. You must tell our people the truth. How you feed them, you go according to the doctrine and you tell the truth. You bring out the scriptures the right way. You rightly divide the word of truth. You take the oversight, meaning you take it to thought. You take it to your mind. Taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, not like, oh, I got to do this. No, not by constraint, but you do the work of Yahawah willingly. Like, yeah, I'm finna get to the business. I'm finna do this work. I'm finna push this truth. You do it willingly. Guess what? Not for filthy lucre. That's what that supposed bishop. That's all he was doing it for, filthy lucre. That's why the Lord had him come get robbed. Took all his chains from him. Took all his rings. And on top of that, then he said what? He said they robbed his wife too. Took all hers too. So Jake know what's going on, you know. So I would say a small percentage of Jake know what's going on in these churches. And Deacon Dollar Bills, Lord had 4 gunmen or 3 gunmen will go round up in there and take and take all his chains off his neck and his rings. And his wedding band on top of that. You know, so you ain't supposed to do this for filthy lucre's sake. You're supposed to do this of a willing and ready mind. You're supposed to do this for Yahawah because it is your reasonable service. It is your what it says, your due diligence. That's what this is for. Last point, Jeremiah 23. And just like the Lord said, He has not sent these false prophets, and that dude was going to get ready to prophet lie. And this is what the Lord says about these false prophets. I'm gonna start off at verse 21. You know, it says, "I have not sent these prophets, yes, yet they ran. I have not spoken to them, yet they prophesied." So the Lord ain't sending this guy with all that jewelry and all that looking fancy. You know what I'm saying? Looking like a righteous dope boy. The Lord ain't sending these false prophets, yet they ran, yet they called themselves, oh, the Lord said this, and the Lord ain't said sugar, honey, iced tea, deacon shrimp plate, pastor offering. But it says here in verse 21 of Jeremiah 23, "I have not sent these prophets, yet they ran. I have not spoken to them, yet they prophesied." So the Lord has not spoken to these false prophets, and the Lord was not talking to this supposed bishop that got robbed. That's why you seen him get robbed on a live stream on camera. The Lord was saying, I'm not talking to him. And he was coming out of his own mind, getting ready to tell a lie, saying something crazy like how many people have lost their faith by seeing somebody die going through something you get ready to go through. And before he could even finish, the Lord had Jake come up in there and kick the door down, kick that door open and lay, hey, get up. The Lord had him to get all up. Took all his chains and his jewelry from him. Had everybody in there at gunpoint. So when he was a false prophet, the Lord ain't sent him, yet he ran. The Lord ain't spoken to him, yet he was getting ready to prophet lie or call himself prophesying, but he was lying. That's why the Lord had that to happen. I'm going to read verse 30. I'm going to jump over to verse 32, and then that's going to be it. It says, "Behold, I am against them that prophesy false dreams, saith the Lord Yahawah, and do tell them, and cause my people to err by their lies, and by their lightness. Yet I sent them not, nor commanded them. Therefore they shall not profit this people at all, saith the Lord Yahawah." So the Lord says, behold, I am against them that prophesy false dreams. And what he was getting ready to do, he was getting ready to prophesy a false dream. He was getting ready to prophet lie. And this is the Lord saying this. This is Yahawah. And he was getting ready to tell his false dream to what? To the people. He was getting ready to cause the people to err, to go in transgressions, It's like a transgression by his lies, causing our people to go in error by his lies. And by our people's likeness, meaning stupidity, because it does say in the scriptures in Amos, or is it Jeremiah? Well, it says Israel is sottish, meaning stupid. So it caused our people to err by their likeness, by their stupidity, by their lack of understanding. Yet the Lord says he didn't send them nor command them. So guess what? It says, therefore they shall not profit this people at all. So these false prophets are not going to profit the people. They're just making profit off the people. Well, whoever those 3 or 4 gunmen was, well, they profited off of that false prophet. That was prophet lying. So yeah, man, you false teachers, you false pastors, the Lord gonna keep sending out judgment. Shalom.